Our gathering song for the month of January, number 146, Soon the Day Will Arrive. Please rise in body or in spirit.
Good morning, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Society. We are grateful to gather today for a time of inspiration, reflection, and connection. Whether you join us today with joy in your heart, weighted with burdens, searching for meaningful connections, or some combination of all of those, we are glad that you are here. I'm Reverend Diana Smith. My pronouns are she and her. I am a somewhat tall white woman in my mid-40s with short curly white and brown hair, wearing my very colorful Unitarian Universalist universe stole, standing in UUS's pulpit in the front of our sanctuary. This room and our adjoining religious education commons are filling with people of all ages. And through the window walls of our sanctuary, we connect with the natural world around us, where I just have to say, have you noticed the clouds today? Yeah. As we gather, we give thanks for this land and all who've cared for it over the centuries, particularly the Kickapoo, the Iowa, the Sauk, the Meskwaki, and the Oceti-Sakowin nations. As people of many ages, genders, races, sexual orientations, classes, abilities, and health statuses, we know how important it is to come together and work together to create a radically welcoming spiritual community. As Unitarian Universalists, our faith expresses our core value of love through how we agree to be together and to support each other. We're guided by the shared principles, sources, and values of our living religious tradition. And this morning, as we explore how joy and wonder can be part of and support practicing resistance, we'll celebrate and explore our values of transformation and pluralism. If doing something with your hands helps you, we invite you to visit the Soul Work table outside the sanctuary doors to pick up an exploratory guide or coloring sheet or something else to work with. And if you're newer to our congregation, we invite you to learn more about us after the service by talking with a greeter in the atrium, or if you're online, by filling out a visitor form in the YouTube show notes that will let us connect with you. And now, our call to worship this morning is a haiku by Rosemary Watola Tromer, who writes, "The way the pupil knows how to widen in the dark, in these darkening days, the heart."
Opening hymn this morning, number 29, Joyful, Joyful, We Adore Thee. Please rise in body or in spirit.
Good morning. I'm Andrew Levitt, 6-foot-tall white male, wearing a orangish shirt, black vest, pronouns he and him. As Unitarian Universalists, we light a flame within a chalice as a symbol of sanctuary, safety, and hope to unite us in our worship and remind us of our ongoing search for the light of truth. Please join with me in saying our chalice lighting words as Judy lights our chalice. Life is a gift for which we are grateful. We gather in community to celebrate the wonder and mystery of this great gift. So let us now kindle the flame of our liberal religious heritage and renew our covenant of mutual love and care. Love is our doctrine, the quest for truth is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. To gather in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, and to serve those in need. This we promise, this we covenant with life and one another.
Each week, after we light our chalice, we also light a candle for justice and healing as a reminder of our interdependence with the earth and with all members of the global community, especially the most vulnerable. We light this candle so that we may not be numbed to injustice and trauma, but rather find strength, courage, and love as we work in solidarity with others for liberation, justice, and healing. Together, we create resilience and hope. Today, these words mean something particular to me, to many of us. It was just a week ago that I stood here and preached my third sermon in an occasional sermon series on explicitly resisting authoritarian breakthrough that I began this past summer. And then I spent Wednesday evening through Friday in Minneapolis as part of a clergy mobilization in response to the occupation of the city by ICE agents. For that is what it is. An occupation. In an orientation that I attended earlier in the week, I was told that however much training I had in nonviolent resistance and de-escalation, I would not be prepared for engaging in what I would experience unless I had done these things in an occupied territory. I trusted what I was told and was grateful to be able to attend a day of learning and preparation. And still, there is not quite anything that can prepare one for witnessing the effects of occupation. The shuttered businesses and empty streets because people are afraid to go to work. The detritus of lives that gets left behind when someone is abducted and no one knows what happened to them. The empty spaces and grief for missing people. The lockdowns because of raids, the constantly shifting plans as new security threats appear, the terror, the knowledge that even the tenuous due process of normal policing doesn't exist. The community and flexibility and resilience that are required to live. Because there's also the other things that I learned and witnessed in Minneapolis. Things that we all need to learn. There are the conditions that lead to civil resistance movements having an 83% chance of turning back authoritarian breakthrough. And there are the ways that people are working to make those conditions a reality. The things that we can do too. There's non-cooperation, which is the refusal to follow, to cooperate with the hollowing out of democracy. There's the continual adaptation and creativity. There's the welcoming of people from all walks of life and beliefs into the movement across differences that once seemed insurmountable. There's the resilience in the face of repression and more. There are the people who are coming up with creative ways to identify and warn neighbors about ICE raids, There are the networks of people who bring folks groceries and supplies. The school and daycare security patrols, the people who give rides, the people who patch others up after ICE raids, and much more. I had the privilege of witnessing and experiencing all of this, as well as what a difference it makes to folks to know that they're not alone. How much it mattered to know that clergy from around the country cared enough to be there, to witness, to help, to learn, to share. And then there is what I learned about the double meaning of ICE out. That chant that we hear so much coming from our northern neighbors. A friend and colleague who is a minister there told me that ICE out is a part of Minnesota culture. It's the day in the spring when the last chunk of ice melts in a lake and the lake becomes liquid water again. She said neighbors who live on lakes bet on the day that it will happen. It makes the newspaper headlines in small town papers. It's the sign that spring is just around the corner. So, as Reverend Sarah Smalley told me, ICE out is something that we Minnesotans take seriously. It means the turning point when the seeds that were dormant all winter will soon grow. Let me repeat that. ICE out is the turning point when the seeds begin to grow. Last week, we reflected on, and some of us committed to, some of the ways that we could become the seeds that crack open the sidewalk of oppression and growing authoritarianism. And so, as we learn from Minneapolis, as we witness, as we act in solidarity with them, may we grow our own skills, may we grow our own community, our own connections, so that we may be the seeds that are ready to grow, that crack open the sidewalk. For the seeds that we need to become, that we need to plant and nurture, are not the only ones that will help deconstruct authoritarianism. They're also the ones that will create something new and beautiful in its place, that help create a better future and heal our democracy. Our country back to being more like the dream of itself that it has never been in reality. I am already beginning to think about and plan workshops and circles that can help us and learn and nurture these things, and I know others are too. Let's get together. Let's get together within this congregation, and let's get together with all the folks out there who want to be part of creating and growing these seeds too. So as I light this candle for justice and healing, I share with you this prayer that Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt, our denomination's president, shared yesterday. God of many names and one abundant love, on this day when we once again grieve in horror at the mindless and morally bankrupt murder of yet another observer in South Minneapolis, help us stay connected to one another. Help us prepare our resistance for the long haul. Keep the strains of protest songs alive in our hearts for the coming weeks, months, and years. We will sing together and sings our songs of victory, and our children know themselves to be safe and whole. Okay, and now we get to talk about social change now. As many of you know, we are exploring a workshop series. We're exploring a book called Social Change Now, and we are holding workshops every Sunday after services through the end of February to explore 2 roles. Last week, we held the first workshop where we explored frontline responders and visionaries. If you were part of that workshop and you want to help tell the story, come on up. I need some people to help me. Okay, we got Jessica. Anybody else? I see people who were part of the workshop, but I got all these pictures that we got to show off and we got to tell a story, but I don't have people to help me. Come on. Jessica, do you want to come on up? Yeah, come on up. Come on up. So we don't have the newsletter article. So we're just going to tell the story of what happened.
And we have the illustrations.
And we have the illustrations. So, I'm going to do this because this is what I have right now. We also have the pulpit mic, but this is all good. So who was part of this? Do you want to come on up here? Not you. Okay, we got Judy. Nope, okay. Okay, come on up. Anybody who was part of the workshop? Adults too. Anyway, if you want to help tell the story about the workshop, you can come on up. Okay. So maybe I'll be the main person who talks. Jessica, can you help me with that? So, okay. So in our situation, we were given some scenarios where we had to be frontline responders first, and then we had to be visionaries where we imagined. You didn't do visionaries? Okay. Well, in the visionaries, what did we do? Maybe we imagined ways that could be better? Judy? Yeah. Yes. So first we got together as frontline responders and we figured out what things we would bring a family who had just arrived. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Great help. Wait, this is wireless 2. I'm on 2. This is 2. I'm on 2. We're going to have a problem. Thank you. Okay. Okay. We are flexible and we are responsive and we are all the things in community, right? So we figured out first what we were going to take people, but then we imagined a scenario of how we would create community. And so like Judy was saying, we got together as visionaries and we imagined what it would be like to help people long term and to build community. So what do we have in some of these stories? Oh, thank you so much, Dan. All right.
Hopefully that works.
Okay, I think it will work. So what do we have in this story, in this one? Does anybody remember?
I was trying to make the entire family together. It was about moving into a new place.
So we came up with an image. So there's an image of the family that we're hosting coming together and showing up here all together. A family from Ukraine, yes, coming and showing up here all together and finding a new place. Thank you, Jessica. And then we said we would have, what was this? That's Cece's. Okay, so, but do you remember what it shows?
That was literally Cece's.
Yeah, Jody, can you hand the mic to Judy? What does it show?
It's representing the people from Ukraine coming all together at a park with other people, and they're having a potluck, giving out food from all different types of places and countries to show how they cared and stuff.
Yeah, because we thought we would want to have a potluck. And behind, does it show the food that we were doing? Because I know that there was some special stuff about the food. The next one, does the next one have food? Next slide. Yes, the next slide.
That's why it really messed up.
Because we thought we would make some food, that if we were doing a potluck with refugees who had come here from another country, it would be good to make some food, to find out about some food that they would like to eat, right? Do you remember what any of the food was called?
Oh, yeah, I actually
You remember all of it? Okay. Do you want to tell what some of the food is?
Well, in the green pot, it's just soup / stew, and then there's also pumpkin. I believe there's some fruit, because that bit I did not draw. Chicken noodle soup, more soup, and chocolate chip pancakes.
Okay. And I know that was a good one, but I know that there was also a vote for borscht or something like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty
So,
sure.
okay. Oh, and then, do you all know what this one is? I remember what this one is, if you don't. Okay, this one was connecting the family to services. So figuring out, asking them what they needed and figuring out how to connect them to services, like medical, food, water, jobs, and school. And then, next slide, please. Oh, and do you see what that says? Can somebody share? Alex, do you want to, or can you hand it to us? Yeah.
We spent time learning each other's languages.
Because what better way to build community than find out how to say hello to each other and good day and things like that. And then these last two are pretty impressive. I mean, they're all impressive. But this is actually a tracing of the bus routes. It's an actual tracing of our actual bus routes, because you got to know how to get places with buses. And then the last one is helping people find out how to use buses to get to like the grocery store and jobs and stuff like that. So that was our vision of how we could help build community. Thank you all so much. Okay, and now each week as our kids head to religious education, what? Oh, we're not, oh yes, no, you're doing a thing first. Yes, Leah's doing a thing. Yes, okay.
Good morning. My name is Leah Kaminsky. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm the religious education coordinator here at UUS. I'm here today to tell you a little bit about what children, youth, and teachers are working on in our Sunday morning religious education classes, and then I have an invitation for you. As you know, on the second Sunday of each month, we go to class with our age and developmental cohorts to learn more about being anti-racist. But do you know what we do the other Sundays of each month? With the new year, we began to fill our other Sundays with a curriculum called Art Explorers. All children, youth, and teachers go to one classroom altogether. Each session, they meet a different artist from around the world and a piece or two of that artist's work. Then they explore a question together. Over the semester, they'll explore questions ranging from what is sacred to how do we work for justice to what are my greatest gifts. All the while, they will explore a variety of materials from crayons and markers to paint, aluminum foil, collage materials, and clay. Staff and teachers are very excited about this curriculum, and not just because of the discussion topics or the Youth Art Gallery coming up on April 5th. We're also excited because using those materials and making art are wonderful opportunities for play and rest, a well-rounded and fantastic spiritual practice. So, when was the last time you played with any of those art materials? If you're an artist already, when was the last time you changed your medium and played around with something new? I would like to invite you to begin or renew a spiritual practice of creating art. Art gives us an opportunity to bring joy into the world. And as we all know, or are hopefully learning, joy is resistance. Each week when they head to classes, our children light a lantern as a symbol of love and hope that goes with them as they explore our faith. Children, youth, and teachers, please come forward as Chrissy lights our lantern from our chalice. Let's all join in singing Be Open as children, youth, and teachers head to religious education.
Be open for something wonderful to happen.
So, one of the fun things that we are getting to talk about today is about noticing the unexpected, wonder. It is so important to channel wonder into our lives. One of the things that I like to do, one of the things in my life that most helps me notice the unexpected, is my dog. Every morning and every evening, she gets me out to go for a walk. I don't know that I would walk 3 to 4 miles a day in minus 25, minus 30-degree weather if it were not for my dog, who has a boundless amount of energy. But because she gets me to go outside with her for a walk twice a day, I get to see sunrises and sunsets. When else would I notice a creek on a nature trail at dusk if it weren't for my dog? I also love how when I pull myself out of my head and just be, I can notice her nose. How amazing would it be to have a nose that is somewhere between 10,000 and 100,000 times as sensitive as my own? What would I notice? What is she smelling? It is amazing. Whatever it is incredible. And when I just get to slow down and stop and notice, I am amazed by what is out there. Also, first thing in the morning, when I let her out of her kennel and she goes and grabs a toy, whether it's the stuffed pig or the stuffed otter or the floppy frog, and she goes running outside and she gets me to throw it across the yard for her, and she comes back. I do not know how it is possible to move so much of one's body. I mean, she's flopping her head with the toy, and she is moving every single muscle as she runs across the yard, flopping that thing. It is incredible. So I hope that you have something, maybe it's not a dog, that makes you go outside and walk her 3 to 4 miles a day in minus 30-degree weather, but it is something that helps you slow down and notice, pay attention, and experience wonder. Andrew, do you have something that helps you experience wonder?
Hello, my name is Chef Puppet. I was employed with Andrew for over 10 years. His wages were adequate. And I was honored when Reverend Diana was asking me about wonder and where I experienced wonder. And it brought me back to the days of preschool when I was a chef puppet, and I cooked snack every day for the children. And one of the jobs that I had every day was to go up to the child and very gently pop them on the head. And the thing was, you would think, and then I would also say one thing: good job about what they were eating. Whether or not they were eating a lot, a little, whatever it was, good job. Now, the thing is, you would think that that would be a rather boring occurrence. But in preschool, I learned that is not a boring occurrence. There is all kinds of things that can happen, so that over the years, it felt like every day was a new day filled with wonder. Some days I would pop them on the head, and they would run for the hills. I would wonder where they were going. Other days I would pop them on the head, and they would hiss at me like a dragon. There was all kinds of things that would happen, but the point was, I was amazed. But the biggest thing that they would look is that they love to be popped on the head. They love to be told good job. And their eyes would experience a deeper sense of wonder at such a simple kind of statement. And so in a sense, that's where I experience wonder. Bye.
Wow, thank you so much, Chef Puppet and Andrew, for sharing that with us. That's really cool. So I'm curious, for all y'all out there, what is something that you learned or saw recently that you didn't expect? And what helps you be open to noticing and appreciating? So I'd like to hear a couple things from a few people. What's something that you learned or saw recently that you didn't expect? Yeah, maybe. Thank you. So eagles, bald eagles, sitting on the banks of the river fishing. Oh, I love going down to the river at this time of year. Yeah. Something else that somebody saw that they didn't expect. Ducks? Bucks. 3 bucks in the backyard. Yes, yes. Oh, to see them from your kitchen window. Okay, how about back here? So we've got a whole bird show here with eagles sitting on the ice and an osprey on the tree taking off and startling other birds, including a pileated woodpecker. And wow, that is so cool.
Just this morning, I was in the UUS kitchen and I heard a bird. And there's a bird up in the top of the stove.
Okay, apparently we have a bird in the kitchen here.
Happy though, because it's probably in a warm spot.
So
I think it's in the kitchen.
above the kitchen. Okay, well, that is definitely something we did not expect, and we'll have to figure out what to do to help that bird be happy and survive, but maybe not be in our food. So that'll be interesting. Cool. Okay, so what helps you tap in and notice things that you don't expect and experience wonder? Because I'll tell you, sometimes when I'm out there walking the dog, and it doesn't even have to be as cold as it is right now. I mean, it can be 30 degrees. And I am all up in my head, and I am thinking about y'all, and I'm thinking about the world, and I'm thinking about family, and I'm figuring it all out. And I don't notice a thing. An owl could swoop by me. Actually, when the owl swoops by me, usually that wakes me up. But what helps wake you up to notice and experience awe and wonder? Getting out of your routine, maybe walking at night, yes. Yes, and just looking up at the moon and the stars, noticing something different. Getting out of your routine is a great way, yeah. 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 So somebody else who walks their dog was talking about just having the intention to notice what she's doing and get outside your head and be there in the moment. What helps you? Sitting in silence, yeah. I know that as I've meditated for decades now, I get better and better at being able to notice the unexpected when it comes along. And even if we're not a meditator like that, just sitting in silence and letting ourselves slow down helps so much. Yeah, reflecting on gratitude. Thinking about whether it's reflecting on gratitude throughout the day or at the end of the day, thinking about what happened and just noticing and noticing. So thank you so much for sharing some of that with me. And we'll return to some themes like this in a little bit.
I want to say, first I'll introduce myself. I'm Madison Colquitt, and it is my joy to serve as your ministerial intern this congregational year. I am a blonde white woman, and today I'm wearing a black sweater. And something I experienced that was both unexpected and was a wonder. When I was in Minneapolis and it was -12, I had icicles in my eyelashes. Never experienced that before. But we nurture gratitude, and how we understand and express interdependence is part of how we live into our Unitarian Universalist faith. And as we enter our time of meditation, contemplation, and prayer, we acknowledge the joys and sorrows of our congregation. We do this by dropping stones into a bowl of water, symbolically immersing our personal joys and sorrows into the flows of all life's joys and sorrows. The water surrounds and holds the stone, just as we are surrounded and held by the love and support of this congregation. For those who would like to share their joys and sorrows in conversation in a smaller venue, the Pastoral Care Associates will be leading a Compassionate Connection circle in the Walnut Room in the RE Commons immediately after today's worship service. These circles happen on second and fourth Sundays, and they are opportunities to share with and support each other in our lives' journeys. If you are participating in our service elsewhere, you may wish to meditatively hold a stone, wash your hands, or meditate on an object near you. And now, if you're in the sanctuary and feel called to do so, please come forward. Take a stone from the basket and place your stone in the water as we sing together.
Like a bird.
For this morning's time of prayer, contemplation, and meditation, I'm inviting us all to lift our voices in a singing meditation. When I heard about the news that another Minneapolis community member, Alex Preddy, who was an ICU nurse at the VA, was killed by ICE, I thought of this musical meditation with the words by Reverend Rebecca Parker. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. We rest in this love. In this moment of my immense grief, so stunned in my sorrow and my anger, a moment in which I did not have words, I did have this song. Can we sing it now together? The words are on the screens. You may know it. Will you please join me in lifting up this musical meditation for our friends, family, and neighbors in Minneapolis? There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. We rest in this love. One more time, please. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. We rest in this love. We rest in this love. Beloveds in Minneapolis, I pray for you. I sing in solidarity with you. There is a love holding you. May it be so. Amen.
The puppets are telling me often that they want to do the offertory. They really think there could be a high raise of increase if they harassed you, but they're still working on their thing, so maybe in the future. As we prepare to give and receive our weekly offering, we're grateful for the generous annual pledges made by members and friends to fund our operations and programs. These ongoing commitments of support make it possible for us to give generously to local organizations who serve the community in ways that are consistent with our mission and values. Our community partner agency for January's Table to Table, who will receive 3/4 of our Sunday offerings this month. Every dollar given to Table is able to provide 5 meals. Last year, over $10 million worth of food was kept out of the waste stream. If you're writing a check, please specify your intent by writing either pledge or offering in the memo line. You may also give online or via text by following instructions on the screen, or by clicking the donate button on our website. Your offerings are a sign of your commitment to this congregation, which is completely supported by the generosity of all who join with us. As we give and receive this offering, may we be transformed by our giving, and may the world be transformed by our gifts.
So, we spent a little bit of time earlier thinking about something that we experienced that brought us wonder or awe recently. I know that our music does. Thank you. And now, we wanted to talk a little bit about joy, but not just talk, experience joy. And I know that it can feel kind of complicated to think about joy and experiencing joy when we're in the midst of things that are so hard. And yet it is so crucial. It is so crucial to keep finding ways to experience wonder, to experience awe, to experience joy. All of those are present in the things that I talked about earlier, the mutual aid networks, the communities coming together. You can especially notice wonder there, but we can also notice joy. There is a joy in helping the people that we care about. There is a joy in creating a new world. And so, Madison and I want to share with you a little bit about practicing joy. And I am going to start with laughter. Now, laughter is amazing. It has so many benefits for our bodies and our minds and our spirits. Scientists are finding out that we find things funnier if we are around other people who are laughing. We also are finding out that the body doesn't actually know the difference between laughter that we create intentionally by going through exercises and the laughter that happens spontaneously because we think something is funny. Both of them decrease our stress and make us healthier, not only in spirit, but in our bodies too. And so, I am going to invite you into doing some laughter yoga with me. Some of you have done this with me before. Some of you haven't. So, but please, I invite you to embrace this to the extent that you are willing and able. So, first we're going to warm up. We're going to clap our hands and chant ha, 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 ho, ho, ho. 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 Okay, and now let's do some, and you can laugh when you get off step with me, and that is good too. So let's do some deep breathing exercises between laughter exercises, because it actually helps push air through our systems and helps us relax. So please join me in a few deep breaths. If it's comfortable for you, sit up straight. You might find it helpful to lift your arms slightly, and then breathe in through your nose and out. Now let's breathe in and then laugh. That's right. Look, clapping and laughing again. Okay, let's take another deep breath together. And join me again. Breathe. Okay. Silent laughter can also have the same effects as deep breathing. So now I'm going to invite you to try to put your face in a smile and laugh without making any sound. Okay, it's kind of hard to not make any sound. Okay, so stress relief is something that we all need, and when we're stressed out, our muscles tend to tense up. So stress relieving laughter can come in many forms. So we're going to try the credit card bill laughter. You're going to open a bill and laugh at whatever's inside. Ready? Okay. All right. And now we're going to do our last laughter exercise, which is greeting laughter. So I'd like you to turn to somebody and greet them. You can wave at them or something, but I know my body feels better and less stressed out. I hope yours does too. Madison, can you help us some more?
I will remember this day. One of the many experiences I'll remember from my time in Minneapolis this week was shared during a workshop on engaging nonviolent civil resistance. One of the organizers of this workshop described this creative nonviolent resistance movement as rather than like a wall, we are like a murmuration of starlings. Here's those birds again. This is an element of the writer and social justice facilitator Adrienne Marie Brown's book, Emergent Strategy. And maybe you've witnessed this amazing phenomenon of a murmuration of starlings, Thousands of birds fly high in highly coordinated, shifting, mesmerizing, undulating patterns. They do this to avoid predators, to keep each other warm, and to share information. The murmurations can react to their environment as a group without a central leader. In any instant, any part of the flock can transform the movement of the whole group. The starlings in flight are flexible and adaptive. In Minneapolis, I saw firsthand what a murmuration of community meant when a previously decided plan would quickly need to change, resources shift to something else, and we often had to wait for instructions, updates, and if necessary, a new plan. We had to practice being flexible and adaptive because things could change, as they often did, at a moment's notice. In Coralville, Iowa, in Iowa City, in North Liberty, and wherever you are joining us online, we also have to practice being flexible and adaptive. So one of the joy practices I've been turning to in recent weeks, and one way I think we can practice murmuration, is movement, especially to music. And this will look different for each person. Move as is good for your body. You can always move while seated. You can move with your arms. You can move with your arms up here. You can move with your chest, with your head. You can involve your legs if that is comfortable for you. In Minneapolis, we sang together and I moved. When we were standing outside in negative temperatures, I moved. It helped me stay warm. Dr. Elias Ortega, who is the president of my seminary, says, we've got to get the wiggles out. So in a few minutes, I will invite you to embody this murmuration through movement, even dance, when we sing, When the Spirit Says Do. When the Spirit Says Do is a freedom song used during the civil rights era at virtually every demonstration, mass meeting of activists, and marches during the 1950s and 60s. So when we sing this song in a few minutes, I invite you to hold your grief, your sorrow, your anger, your disbelief, your confusion, and your exhaustion, and move through it as we sing. Move as you are able, standing or seated or anything in between. I invite you to be brave. I invite you to be silly. I invite you not to take yourself too seriously or seriously at all. Get the wiggles out.
So most of us don't expect that we're going to learn a lot about joy in difficult places, but so often we do. I've had the privilege to learn this when visiting rehabilitation centers in Myanmar or Burma, in Peru, and recently in Minneapolis. So often we don't expect to find out about savoring and joy in these places, but we do. It's kind of like that haiku I shared with you earlier. The way the pupil knows, that part of the eye, the way the pupil knows to widen in these dark days, the way the pupil knows to widen in the dark, in these darkening days, this heart. Our minds prefer to focus on the bad stuff, the negative. It's probably a lesson we learned from evolution. And so we have to savor the good things, both the mountaintop moments and the little things, the things you shared with me earlier, and the things like being here. We've got to focus on them, cultivate them, notice them. A lot of this is about learning to be present right here and now, to notice what's happening and what we compare it to, what we need to set aside or let go of, to let ourselves feel wonder and awe. In addition to practicing some of the things we've talked about today, I invite you to help yourself savor things. Savoring means doing something like at the end of the day, remembering the things that happened. Or when you know that something is going to happen that you're looking forward to, savoring it in advance. And that can heighten the experience. Noticing more things, finding joy in them, and joy with other people. Because finding joy, finding wonder, finding awe, savoring, gratitude, these are some of the most powerful things that we can do, both for our own liberation and as a form of resistance to wider oppression. Joy really can be resistance, just as rest really can be resistance, particularly when it helps us connect, particularly when it gives us energy and sustenance to keep going, to do good work, when it is life-giving, life-affirming, and connecting, when it helps us keep local culture, the arts, and human connections thriving, when it helps us connect with and find liberation in our bodies and support others as we find it. So may we help create the world we all need. So may it be. Blessed be. Amen.
Did you hear that? He said, "Whoa, whoa, baby." I think that's like great closing words, right? May what has been shared today help us more fully affirm our interconnection and live into love and justice. After the service, we gather in the fellowship hall for conversation and community. If you're a newcomer, we hope you'll grab a snack and then sit at any table so folks can join you for some conversation. The Pastoral Care Associates will be meeting for a compassionate connection circle in the Walnut Room immediately after today's worship service. After today's service, you can also join us at 11:30 for a Social Change Now workshop on disruptors and builders in the RE Commons, an orientation to the upcoming values and practices for kinship living group in the conference room, or the UUS singers here in the sanctuary.
Our closing hymn for this morning, number 1024, When the Spirit Says Do. Please rise in body or in spirit. Says do. You gotta do when the Spirit says do. When the Spirit says do, you gotta do. Oh Lord, you gotta do when the Spirit says do. 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 You gotta sing when the Spirit says sing. You gotta sing when the Spirit says sing. When the Spirit says sing, you gotta sing. Oh Lord, you gotta sing when the Spirit says sing. 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 You gotta dance when the Spirit says dance. The Spirit says dance. When the Spirit says dance, you gotta dance. Oh Lord, you gotta dance when the Spirit says dance. 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 Spirit says laugh. You gotta laugh when the Spirit says laugh. You gotta laugh. Oh Lord, you gotta laugh when the Spirit says laugh. 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 When the Spirit says shout, you gotta shout when the Spirit says shout. When the Spirit says shout, you gotta shout. Oh Lord, you gotta shout when the Spirit says shout. 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 You gotta do when the Spirit says do.
Please join me in words for extinguishing the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. All these we carry in our hearts and our minds until we are together again.
As you go out into the world this day and this week, may you go cultivating joy, wonder, and awe, that you may nourish the little seeds that we need to grow, that they may sprout and create all the changes that this world needs. Go in peace, love, and justice, living love ever more fully and fiercely into this world. Amen. And blessed, blessed be.